Hello, welcome. This is Samir again from Chatbot Marketing Center, and I'm a little bit late today. I was planning to go live at 2 p.m., but it's almost 3:05. But here I am again, and we are going to talk about messenger bots. What I want to do today is recap a little bit what we have covered so far, so that if someone is just picking up from this replay, this video, they get an idea of what we have talked so far. So here through this series of videos, I'm trying to teach you how to build messenger bots, marketing messenger bots for your business. And what you've done so far is I've shown you that each messenger bot is tied. Let me switch the screens. So hang on one second. Okay, yeah. So what I have covered so far is each messenger bot is tied with a Facebook fan page or business page. And so you need to have a Facebook business page in order to build a messenger bot. If you don't have a business page, it's very easy to create a new Facebook business page. And I recommend that even if you have a existing Facebook business page, in order to start learning the messenger bot, you create a test Facebook page, kind of a temporary or dummy Facebook page, and play with that first before you try to jump on and use the main business page. Although you can use the current business page. I don't think there is a problem, but you might want to just test it out using a separate page initially. So then what we did was we taught the messenger bot to say hello, to say the greeting, the welcome message. When you start learning messenger bots, or in general chat bots, you will hear these terms: the welcome message, the default message, and things like that. So the welcome message is nothing but, is the greeting, the first thing that the bot says, and it can be different depending on how people start interacting with the bot. It doesn't have to be just one message. You can have different starting messages or different welcome messages. And default message is something the messenger bot says when it doesn't understand what the user is talking about. We can teach messenger bot to respond to specific words, and that's what we were doing by default, at least on the Facebook Messenger platform. All the services that help you build the bot, and one service that we have been using is called ManyChat.com. That's when you use such services like ManyChat or ChatFuel, the default bot understands at least two words: start and stop, or subscribe and unsubscribe, because it's the Facebook terms of services that a person should be able to easily unsubscribe from the bot. So that's what we learned so far: how to create a Facebook business page, how to hook up the Facebook business page with ManyChat, the bot building platform, how to build the initial bot that understands few words. We taught our bot to say hello, and then we started building the conversational flows. So there is welcome message, there is default message, which I already explained, and then you build conversational flows. Means how you can teach the bot to carry out conversation. And that's what we did last time. So what we'll do is we'll jump onto that. I'll kind of recap, go over that one more time, look at what we did, and we kind of try to build some more, like a longer conversation. So we built so far 3-step process where the bot will say the initial message and it'll give user the choices to respond to that message. You want to make sure you give multiple choices to user whenever the bot sends a message to the user, because imagine, like, if someone tells you something and you only have one way to respond, then how would you feel? You would feel that you might not be able to express yourself or something like that, right? So you always want to give multiple options to user. So that's enough of my talking head. Let's start sharing the tool, and then kind of let's jump in and continue to teach the bot more stuff. Like I was saying, initially the bot is very basic, very stupid, very dumb, doesn't know, only knows the words. You might feel that's of what use the bot is, but once I start building the conversational flows, you will realize the power that you can do much more than just understand simple words. But that, again, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The bot can do more. It can try to understand sentences. You can say sentences and things like that. So we'll continue to build upon what we have done so far, and there's much more you can do basically. So I'm going to switch to the screen sharing mode, and hopefully you can see my screen now. And again, a recap, I'm Samir Ranpara with Chatbot Marketing Center. If you are watching this replay, say hello in the comment, type in your questions, ask questions, say hello, okay? All right, so we were here in the last Facebook Live. We were building the conversational flow. This is ManyChat.com. And I have already connected this with a Facebook page, business page named TestBot. And on the left-hand side, you go to the flows. In the left-hand column, you go to the flows, and then I created a folder called Initial Demo. And when you go to that, you'll see this My First Flow. And when you see that, when you click on that, you'll see what we built so far. So you can always minimize this. And this is what you see. This is the starting step. This is the starting message. Hello, first name. Okay, so now what happens is when I click on the start step text box, it gives me stats about how many people it was sent, how many people it was delivered to, opened and clicked by. The reason is that we are in preview mode, and when we have to get to the edit mode, of course, if you want to know the stats, you want to be in the preview mode so you can see the stats, like how many people the message was sent, how many people clicked on the buttons and things like that. But if you want to edit, go to the top right corner and click on this edit button, edit message, and now you'll switch to the edit mode. So this is what we built so far, right? This is the first message. Bot says, hello, first name, how are you? And it gives 3 options, 3 buttons the user can choose. Hi, I'm good, how are you? And whenever user chooses any of that, the bot says, would you like to learn more about messenger bots? That's just for sake of practicing. In theory, you can give out different messages for different buttons. You don't have to just send out just one message. So let's do that. Let's when the user types in when user responds with how are you button, let's change the message. Let's say that I'm doing great, thank you for asking, something like that. So what you do is you see that this button is already tied with the next message box, and what we have to do is disconnect this button with this message box and create a new button, a new message box, and then tie and connect the how are you button with the new message box. Hopefully I'm making sense. If I'm not, you can always type in the comment and ask me questions. So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to come here, click on this, hover on this circle here, and then left click. And when I do that, it'll give me a new arrow or new link. And then left click again. And it'll give me options what you want to do, where you want the link to go to, or what you want the link to connect to, right? So I'm going to say send message because I essentially want a different message when someone says, how are you? Then I click on that new box and I'm going to say, I am doing great. Thanks for asking, right? And it's auto save. By default, it'll save everything automatically, which is great for the most part, that you don't have to do anything. It's just not great when you have typed in a big paragraph and by mistake you delete and it saves your work. Anyways, if that happens, you hover over the text box where you want to fix the last save. You click right, you do the right click, and it'll give you the undo option. I mean, right now there is nothing that I did, so it's not highlighted, but it may work. Okay, so anyway, so let's now what happens is, for hi and I'm good buttons, I have the message, would you like to learn more about Messenger bots? And for how are you, I have the message, I'm doing great, thanks for asking. So let's publish. You want to publish often, although you can only publish the you can only publish when you have tied all your buttons. If you created a new button but you haven't defined the action for the button, like what happens when the user clicks the button, it won't let you publish. Okay, for example, let's do this to kind of show you how that works. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just delete this new message. Okay, so I just deleted the new message, right? So now the how are you button is hanging, means we haven't defined. We defined the button, we defined the button title, how are you is the button title, but we haven't defined what happens when user clicks on the button title, I mean on the button. And if I try to publish, I get the red message, please specify a reply message for the button. So it's saying that, this thing is, you haven't defined what you want to do with this button, right? So that's, hopefully that explains that. On the right, far right edge of the browser, you'll see these 3 buttons. Plus and minus is for the zoom. You can zoom in, zoom out. And the top button, which is kind of a magic wand, is auto arrange steps. And I'll explain that. I think it'll make more sense how it works when I have more steps. Okay, so when we continue to build this stuff, that's when I'll show you what it does. So let's rehook up this guy again. How are you? I just left click on the circle, and then I kind of moved to the canvas, the link, the end of the link, did left click again, and it gives me all the options. I say send message, and then I type in, okay, so I click to add text in the text bar in this box. You click on that, then you move over to the pop-up editor. And that's where you type what you want to type. So how are you is the response is I'm good, thanks for asking, right? So now I publish. It will let me publish, content published, because I have all the buttons defined, right? And let me preview. So I clicked preview, and then it tells me okay, then it tells me that preview message sent, check your messenger, open messenger. So I'm going to click on that. It opens the messenger on the desktop because I'm currently working on the desktop. It will also send to your mobile messenger app. If you have notifications turned on, then you'll see the notifications. Okay, so here you go. The test bot says, hello Samir, how are you? It's still loading. I mean, I can read that in the preview. It's still loading. For some reason, right, when I go live, things slow down. The Murphy's Law, right? Okay, so hopefully it will, there you go. It's back now. So, although it's still stuck, it's still working, it's still not it's not showing me the latest message. There you go. Now it's showing me the latest message. Hello Samir, how are you? So remember, first two buttons, if I click on those, it just responds, the bot responds with hi. Sorry, no, the bot does not respond with hi, but you see hi here, right? Okay, so that's the thing. It'll re-display the button that you clicked. It's telling you that you as a user are actually, by clicking this button, you are sending the message hi, right? That's what it's showing. And the bot responds with this message: would you like to learn more about messenger bots, right? Same thing when I say I'm good. Both top two buttons are tied with the same message, but now when I click how are you, it'll show me a different message, right? I'm good, thanks for asking, right? Okay, so now, so in a way, the bot is trying to mimic the human, right? The bot is trying to carry out the conversation. So there is one feature that helps with that. Although as we kind of continue to, as I continue to record this training, more sessions of this training, overall, I recommend that you don't try to pretend when you build a bot for your business. Don't pretend that it's you. Like, don't pretend that it's human, because you can get away with some pretension, but don't do that. Just, upfront, make sure that you tell whenever person subscribe to your bot, or whenever a person starts talking for the first time with your messenger bot, always tell them, always be transparent and make it clear that this is a bot, right? I think it'll help have a better relationship with your users in the long run. Don't try to pretend. But at the same time, there are some features that can help create a conversation, an environment of conversation where it feels like there is a human typing on the other side. Now you can say that on the one hand I'm saying don't pretend, and on the other hand I'm talking about features that they'll help you pretend. Yes, but I think it's a good user experience. So let me just show you the feature first, because otherwise it'll not make sense what I'm talking about. For example, here you notice that as soon as I press how are you, although my machine is slow, it's kind of able to immediately spit out the message, right? So in a way, it's kind of fast. Now imagine there was a human on the other side. Would the human be able to type so fast? Unlikely, right? And when the human is typing, what do you see? You see the three dots, right? Most of the messaging apps have some form of kind of the dots image that kind of we are all familiar with now, that the other person is typing. So that's what you can set up. You can set up a delay. That's called delay. So let's do this. So before this message, let's insert the delay. So here, out of all the possibilities, you see this delay. So typing 3 seconds. So this is the typing delay. This element will show that dots emoji, dots GIF, which we see when the other person is typing. But you want to put this above the message, right? Because you first see the GIF of, you expect first to see the image of the other person typing, and then the actual message pops out whenever the person is done typing and sends enter, pushes enter button or clicks send message. So if you remember, you can move around, shuffle around messages here. If you come to the right edge, you'll see this arrow and you can move it up. You can change the delay. Okay, so let's do 3 seconds. I just published that, and I'm going to go, I'm going to click preview. When I click preview in Messenger, it'll start the flow from the beginning, which is, this is the first message. Hello Samir, how are you? And now I just clicked on how are you, and see that, right? The dancing dots. So you see that. You can change the the delay, let's say I'm gonna do like 7 seconds, so you have to wait more. Always, whenever you make changes in your flows on your messages, publish the change first and then preview, right? Otherwise you'll not be able to see the changes. Remember to publish often. Again, let's try. I just clicked on how are you, and now you'll see the 7 seconds delay, right? It's still going on. User is still typing. So based on the length of message that you are sending, you want to set the delay, right? Like common sense. Anyways, so okay. So that's one thing. You can take different paths. You can send that typing element. You can send images. I probably already talked earlier. Let me see if I can grab something here. Okay, so I'm going to send this image. So this app is hiding, open. Okay, so after I'm going to change this to like 3 seconds because anyways the things are slow here. I mean on my machine, and what it does is after it sends the message, it'll show the image. So I made change, so I published, I do preview, and then I'm going to watch. Here I have the initial message. If I select how are you, then it first shows the dancing dots. Someone is typing, it says I'm good, thanks for asking, and it shows the image, right? So you can, as you can see here, if I come back, there is text option. You can send a text message. The bot can send a text message, bot can send an image, and then there is a card. So let's do a card. So card is nothing but it's kind of a media piece with image and title, right? So you can have the image, and so typically you can use this to showcase like your gallery. Let's say you have a website and you offer different products. So you can have a product gallery and you can have each one card per product, right? For example, so that's one option. And so you can, so let me show you just an example. You can I don't know, I don't have any better options here. Okay, so this is my banner, one of my Facebook banners, and it talks about a guide. So I can say messenger guide. And then there's a subtitle. You can select something for subtitle if you prefer. So I'm going to publish that. So you see the plus sign here. You can actually add more cards. You can have. So let's do that. Actually, it's just so that it gives you an idea. I'm just going to use some random images here. My logo. Test. So I added that, and I'm going to publish and preview. All right, so okay, so we're going to preview. We just published that. All right, it's already previewing. Somehow I was hoping something to happen on that screen. Okay, so there you go. I'm going to type how are you, and when I type how are you, first you have the dancing dots, the typing GIF, then you have the image we added, and then the gallery, right? So it says messenger guide, first image, I can scroll right, next image, scroll left. I can also link this. So again, I'm selecting that text box, and you can link this card to a URL. Okay, so let me figure out how to do that. Yeah, there you go. When you click on the title, it'll give you this edit card and card URL. This can be used to open a web page on a card click, right? So when you click here, it can open a page here, right? You can type in a page here and a URL, and when a person clicks on the card, it'll open that web page. Okay, so just to show as an example, Marketing Center, I'm putting my website there, and I publish, and I say preview, and once it says preview message send, you either click here open messenger, or you go to an existing open messenger and you try it out. Like, you know, I again press that button. Remember, all the gallery we have defined in response to that button, how are you button. So that's why it will only show up there. So now here's my gallery, scroll left and right. I have not defined any URLs for this image, so it doesn't, if I click, nothing happens, but I have defined an URL for this one. So if I click, it takes me to the page where it takes me to the URL, whichever URL you put in there, right? So there you go. Okay. So I think that's, I'm going to end there for today. Again, this is Samir with Chatbot Marketing Center. If you happen to see this live, this recording of this live, then say hello in the comment, ask your questions, and I will see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and catch you tomorrow or later. Okay, bye.